right, welcome back, watch fans. Today we are talking the Christie's Geneva watch auction. We're gonna go through. What do you got? About 150 lots. Only a few of them are of any real interest. So we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. Let me just send out the invite. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So let's go through this. So let's go through this auction. We got starting off. We got some relatively basic modern. You got the basic modern Rolex fill over here. We're gonna skip right through this. Of course, look, we do always want to bring up the bellwether. That's the John Mayer, the Daytona as they call it, the green dial. Really one of the most beautiful dials. I don't know why they stopped doing that blue dial. Interestingly enough, the big blue, which is going to be at, I believe is that the Philips? Yeah, I think Philips is going to be auctioning the big blue. That's the blue dial Daytona. That was also a disaster. The blue dial was a disaster for Rolex. Just like the green dial was, but they dropped the blue dial and they gave it out to management and some key partners. I think they're going to bring it back at some point. I really have a feeling they're going to bring it back, that blue dial with the yellow gold. It really looks amazing. That sky blue. Actually, it's a really nice shade of blue. So again, this one was also discontinued. So. But yeah, the prices definitely have come down. So yeah, this probably, again, we could expect this to sell for about 70 grand roughly, all in with premium. Now this is interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think of these? This has always been a very strange. I don't know about strange, but the beach Daytona is always kind of a interesting thing where the people bought these in a full kind of the whole set, all colors, like the Crayola box of crayons. And again, this is the crayon eater watch. Micah, welcome to the program. That's right, you, me, and KFC. We got let's see, so we got these kind of basic beach Daytonas here. And again, I've been saying this for a while. I think the Daytona market, the vintage, let me just say this, the vintage Daytona market, I think we've seen the highs. It's pretty much over. I mean, look, everybody who wanted one already has one. People are ready to move on to the next thing. Now, by the way, that next thing has been FP Journe for a while. And I think also the FP Journe thing is about to run its course. Especially these tomato can models over here. I don't know who buys this crap over here. I mean, what is the point of this garbage watch? Truly, I don't know what is the point of this. This is basically just a cash grab by FP Journe. Again, if you want the FP Journe, you gotta go for the best of breed, which is the real complications. Those are worth buying. Beautiful dials, great complications. This is a bit of a funky dial. But this is one of these things that definitely I think people are interested in right now with FP Journe. Yeah, nobody wanted them. That's right. It's fascinating, right? It's really interesting. It's really interesting. So that listen, my philosophy is here's the thing. Look, it's how do you make money in watches? Same way you make money in real estate, in stocks, or any other asset, right? You got to buy when, what is it? You got to buy straw hats in wintertime, right? You got to buy the stuff when nobody wants it, right? It's like, what happened? Remember when during COVID, when oil just collapsed, when basically it went to literally went below zero. Oil prices went literally below zero. They went negative $40. I think it was a negative. It was something, excuse me, something unheard of. And people made I mean, I don't want to say a lot. Yeah, I mean, really a fortune. I mean, there was guys who made like little billions of dollars. I think there was actually a group of guys, a group of guys in Brighton, oil traders, basically day traders, guys trading, day traders at home, right? They loaded up on oil futures right at that moment when when it went like negative. And yeah, there you go. It was, it was negative 20. It was ridiculous, right? And these guys load up was like a bunch of young guys, and they made a fortune. Those are the guys probably buying the Richard Milles right now, right? I bet those guys have bought watches from Pruneface, from Paul Thorpe. I mean, he's right in their neighborhood. I mean, imagine a bunch of young versions of Paul Thorpe. That's who it was. And Red Shovel, that's what it was. So yeah, you got to buy stuff when nobody wants it, and that's my whole philosophy. Look, I'm buying Ellipse. I was buying Ellipse when nobody wanted it. I was buying the yellow date on the bark finish when nobody wanted it. Now, some of these watches takes a while. It takes a while. The thing with watches, it takes a while. All of a sudden, it takes off. Same thing with the Royal Oak, the Owl, the two-tone. And again, I've been telling you guys about the two-tone for a while, and now two-tone is getting a lot of traction. It's going to be the hottest thing. You're going to watch and see. Two-tone is going to be, it's going to be big. It's going to be the next big thing. Just like the green dial. Nobody wanted it. Just like nobody wanted two-tone. Or still, I think they're kind of warming up to the two-tone watches these days, but it's going to take a little, maybe another year or so. Okay, let's keep rolling through here. We got some interesting Richard Milles. Again, and I'm not really too knowledgeable on these. I'm just telling you kind of from my perspective. I do think that the early ones are the ones from like, I don't know, like 2006 or 2010, I believe. The thin ones, those square thin ones. I think it's the RM16, if I'm not mistaken. Those could be a good value. Again, Richard Mille, at some point the price is going to collapse, but those early ones could be an interesting value. The Ellipse is coming back in a big way. If you see the Ellipse prices at auction, they're picking up steam. They're all selling at high estimates. Look. For AP, they make beautiful two-tone. The rose gold and steel is amazing. Their yellow gold is amazing. Everything they do is, their metals are much better than Rolex. Now this is interesting colors here. I mean, you can really see why somebody would want to wear this watch. I mean, you got really beautiful colors. I mean, this is like interesting. Look, I think at some point, excuse me, these RMs are going to collapse in 20 years from now. The fashion is going to come back. The fashion is going to come back, just like they're trying to make Ebel come back. That's what's going on over there. Okay, so I'm gonna get to the interesting stuff in just a second. We got the interesting stuff is coming up. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with Debeth. Okay, we got, of course, the watch box people, and they're going to be pushing up prices. They have a vested interest, watch box, because they basically own Debeth. They're really pushing it hard. So for them, it would be a good investment to spend, shell out, let's call it 150 grand to really send this watch to the moon, so that it gives the market confidence, right? It's very important for these guys to support the market. You got to hype up the market, and you can really move with a watch like Debeth. It's very easy to manipulate the market, right? Not a lot of watches out there. So if what's his name? What's his name? Little Newman. If the guy from Watchbox decides to spend 100 grand on that watch, that's going to really support the whole brand. It makes a big difference. It can make Big difference. Alfred Newman. That's Alfred Newman. Yeah, that's the watchbox guy, Alfred Newman. If Alfred Newman, he could really make this thing move. But again, those are the only buyers for this. Craig shit. Things seem to move right. That's true. Absolutely right. That's the problem with style, fashion. You're talking about like fashion, like clothes, but also, art, watches. It's all related. It's all basically fashion, right? So the 70s stuff has been, doing the thing. The 80s stuff is next. I mean, we've been seeing 80s paintings, moving in the last couple of years. That trend is on, and we're starting to see, I believe, the early stages of 80s watch action. What do you call it? The Ebels. There's a bunch of Italian dealers trying to push Ebel, which is, of course, very famous as the Miami Vice watch, worn by what's his name, Don Johnson. Then you got, of course, Hublot, which made a beautiful watch. That classic, the gold on rubber strap. That watch really is an amazing watch. And of course, it was a quartz shitter, but it was a beautiful watch. And that's the watch that this Patek Philippe Aquanaut is based on. I mean, they basically ripped off the whole concept from Hublot. And of course, these guys were so late. So I mean, again, the Aquanaut is a piece of garbage. I've been telling you guys for years. It is. I think it's ready to jump the shark. I think there's a little bit more left in the tank with Aquanaut. We got to get the last sucker in, and I think the last sucker is probably Bear from Archie's show, Bear Clooney. Now that Bear has bought an Aquanaut, you know that the market has peaked, right? Because I mean, look, let's face it. I mean, I like Bear, but he's not exactly Mr. Fashion, right? Craig, exactly. Look, the college kids, they're wearing, what are they wearing? I think, from what I understand, they love those 80s. Actually, they're buying new T-shirts that are made to look like old, rock concert T-shirts from the 80s, or like, random. They like that random 80s stuff on T-shirts, like Metallica, not Metallica, what's the one? Pac-Man, whatever, just all that stuff. Yeah, no, it was that the Testarossa? He had the Testarossa, I think, right? He had the Testarossa, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he had the Testarossa, right? The Testarossa. Yeah. So anyhow, so we're talking. So Patek Philippe Aquanaut again. We're getting into the peak Aquanaut. I think those things are gonna peak in the next, I would say, within 12 months. If you haven't bought an Aquanaut yet. If you already don't own one, if you don't own one cheap, if you already don't own one like that you bought, like, I don't know, 8 years ago, it's too late. Okay, now is the time. Now is the time to be dumping Aquanaut. Now is the time to dump, sell. What's interesting though is going to be something like this. These things will maintain value, which is these the research editions, advanced research. These are rare. These are kind of cool. Travel time. What makes it special? I mean, just a little cutout. I mean, that's it. And look at the price. These are like 400. Yeah, they go for like what, $350,000, $400,000. Real money. I mean, it is white gold, but still. Is this? I think this is a Tokyo edition, I believe. Yeah, there we go. The Japanese edition. Now we saw one of these sell for, I believe, $80,000 at Loop This, which is a LA auction house. Look at this! Wow, they sold one for. They had the same low estimate, and it went for 80 grand. Guys, by the way, make sure, if you haven't yet, make sure you get access to our free weekly newsletter. Click the link in the video description below. It's what it looks like. Actually, not the one on the right is a snapshot of the thing, right? We got Rolex, AP, Patek news, prices, a lot of great stuff. We had another issue came out today. We actually cover a lot of stuff that is not covered on these videos. It's a little more in depth, a little more interesting type stuff. Unbelievable but true. Unbelievable but true. And by the way, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do it now. Click the like, subscribe button, upvote, or whatever they call it. Whatever the kids call it these days. Let's take a look at this. Look, this is a really nice looking watch in blue. It really is. It really is. Now, again, loop this sold on for 80 grand all in, and these have a low estimate of 20 to 40. They also had low estimates, so probably it'll sell for how much? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe 60s. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Very interesting to see, right? What do you think? Now let's go into the modern Patek, which I really despise some of these modern watches that they're doing. Which again, I really think they're going way downhill with these. So okay, what is this? I have no idea. Some sort of chronograph. I guess it's kind of more of a rare dial, a little more unusual. What are they doing here? It's a special edition. Okay, it's an anniversary edition. That's going to give it legs. What is the point of this watch? It's kind of like, I don't know, just to me, I don't know. They could have done better. Maybe if it was a black dial. With the white, it's a little bit boring. Again, something like this, very boring. These perpetual calendars, annual. These are annual calendars that they do. Or with the chronograph, very boring. I mean, it's such a boring design. I mean, who would do this? And I really think that they're in danger of ruining the brand. Now, again, this watch over here, another example. This actually, I believe, had some potential. The dial, great color. I love the color, right? This kind of brown color with this texture finish. I think they call it like a Tuscan, some sort of Tuscan, whatever. The problem I have with it is these syringe hands, this kind of vintage look that they're trying to do. It's, again, we've talked about it before. It just doesn't work. It's like either you're trying to do a modern watch or you want to be classical. Classical or modern, make up your mind. You can't do both. And they're trying to do both. It's just this kind of retro vintage. Look, if you're Hamilton, you're doing a $500 watch, it's okay, but not for Patek. So we got a couple of world times. We got, and this is interesting, in a disturbing way. I've been seeing the guys trying to push this watch. I think even I saw a picture of what's his name with the one. Brad Pitt. I mean, I don't think actually Brad Pitt is kind of strange taste. And this is a watch that is I don't think this has any legs. I know people have been trying to push this for a while. To me, this is just a very kind of an ugly watch. It's a very there is good 80s design and bad 80s design. This is bad 80s design. This really is irredeemable. They were just trying to hop on that Nautilus and Royal Oak bandwagon, and it just did not work. It did not work for them. Let's see. Yeah. What do you knuckleheads think of these? Okay, now this. Okay, we got a Vacheron Perpetual. The one issue I have is with that the calendar up top, or the months. It does the leap year, but you got to go through all four. It's a little bit messy and convoluted. Otherwise, this is an amazing, really good looking watch. The overseas, the modern overseas are really good looking. These work in the bracelet, the interaction. Again, we've talked about that stuff. Big fan of that quick change on the bracelets. Let's see. Okay, now we're getting into this, the tomato can material. Okay, we got the Submariner Comex, the Comex. And these get big money. I think we saw one go for, what, 150 grand at Was it 150 grand? But it was a full set with everything, all sorts of propaganda, paraphernalia, diving paraphernalia, owned by a guy who actually, you know, used the watch diving. So you can see this thing go for easily in the 100s. I don't know. Would you buy this watch? I mean, it's just a basic Submariner. It's really a modern Submariner. It's a 1981 Submariner. Why would somebody pay 100 grand for a 1981 Submariner? What's so special about it? Because it says Comex. It was used on dives. Who cares? Again, it's a story watch. These stories about this and that. Oh, it went here, went there. Who cares? I mean, it's just a, you know, this watch looks no different than a modern, you know, or a pre-ceramic Submariner. Really, it's time that the bubble bursts. We got to burst that bubble. We got to burst that bubble. Let's see what else they got here. They got again your basic vintage. You got Europe. You got your Paul Newman here. Is it a Paul? No, it's not a Paul Newman. It's just a Daytona. You know, look, it's a nice watch, right? Nice watch. 1974. Okay. But you know, for 200 grand for a Daytona, so many better, more interesting things out there, right? So many more interesting things, even amongst Rolex vintage. Now this is interesting here. Now we're getting into some interesting stuff. We got here a Rolex triple calendar, right? You got day, date, moon phase. Great dial layout. I mean, this thing is perfect. This is like a perfect dial. And if you made the moon, the man in the moon, that the face a little more modern, this watch would be, and maybe like a Dauphine hand, something a little bit cleaner. That's what Patek should be doing. That's what Rolex should be doing. This dial. I mean, this thing is 70 years old, and it's 75 years old, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing. And what is it, 100, 200,000 estimate? I don't know. I think the value is in these watches, not in the tomato can Submariners. Not the tomato can Submariners. That's just my opinion. Let's see here. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Let's keep moving along. Let's keep moving along. We have again one of the classics. Again, the Rolex blue chip, the Stelline, 1953. Again, you got a triple calendar, but why is this more valuable? Well, you're paying for that. You're paying for those stars. You're paying for those stars, basically. Those little stars. That's what you're paying for. Really cool watch. In a black dial, it's amazing because the stars, like it's like they're twinkling in the night, you know. I don't know. What would you rather? I mean, so this is 350 to 700. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a Stelline? Would you rather have a Stelline, right? Or would you rather have, you know, like a $500,000 Daytona from like the 70s? I know what I would want. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Stelline. What an amazing watch. Actually, I knew a guy who had one, and he was telling me that he actually. This goes back about 10 years ago, and was his a Stelline? It might not have been, but it was a triple calendar, and this guy was. He was actually a guy I knew in the art business. I'd meet him at auctions, at these ratty type auctions, and he's kind of this guy has been around a long time, And he said he used to buy those things cheap, and he would always sell them. I think he had like 3 or 4 of these that he owned at one time or another that he bought and sold. And when I met him, he had one of these on his wrist, and at that time they were going for about, I think, 75 grand plus, maybe 100. But and he said no, that's the one. He was going to keep that one forever. And that watch might be his retirement. I don't know. He's probably 80 by now. Who knows? But yeah, this is really great. Now here we go. We got some more annual calendars of the chronograph. Yeah. I don't know. I don't get this. I don't really get this. The price is what, 50 grand for these things. Kind of boring to me. One of the ugliest Pateks of all time is this perpetual calendar that they just released with this unibrow or something. It's I'm not a fan of these date windows, and especially when you have it all in one line. Is that like a cost-saving measure? The hands look nice. That brush finish, the watch just looks very, very sterile. It's a very sterile, very boring. And this should be. They should just get rid of this. They should get rid of this. It's a real. It's watches like this that are ruining the brand. Now this, again, this is the classic, 53.96. You could probably pick one of these. I don't know why the prices are so high. You could probably pick one of these up for like 35 grand. 35 grand. And this is a classic design. Again, the only problem is you got the date windows, which I'm not a fan of, and the 24-hour indicator. I don't know who needs that. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Tiffany dial. Excuse me. It's got a Tiffany dial. So you're going to be paying extra for that Tiffany dial. It's going to go for probably 70 grand, 75 grand. Otherwise, these are like 35 grand all day. Yeah, the classic design. Let's see what else we got. Again, basic, kind of your basic chronographs, your basic Patek chronographs over here. And okay, this is the green dial. Green dial world time, which actually looks pretty amazing. This is what, platinum, right? The green dial. This is for the Mideast market. Again, this is going to be north of 100 grand. North of 100 grand. Really nice looking watch. Really nice looking watch. Let's see. We got is this a purple dot? What is this? Is this Japanese? Japanese dot? No. This is blue or purple? It's like a interesting. I would say this is the better look. This blue is actually a little bit more interesting than that green. Okay, here we go. Now, let me go to this one first. These Royal Oak dual times, I think, are amazing watches. The one thing you got to look out for, I don't know. The one thing you got to look out for with these watches is, you notice the flaking around. You notice that flaking around the edge of the subdials. I don't know what it is with Audemars Piguet. Like, why do all their dials have some sort of? A lot of them develop these flaking issues. It's like BMW. Their cars, the paint tends to peel. I've seen so many BMW. Like, I think they use cheap paint or something. I don't understand it. Don't understand it. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Hang on a sec. Let me pop in here. Let me pop in here. Okay, so let's. Oh, look at this. Oh, we got the Pontiff.
How are you?
Archibald, welcome to the program.
Hey man, it's all good. I just thought I'd come on quickly, say hello, see how you're going.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You
Yes.
came just in time. Actually, I'm about
Yeah.
to go to
Actually, go on. Yes.
lot 69. This is your friend
How do
Raphael.
we know it's Raphael's New York edition? Can I ask you that? You don't. There wasn't that many.
Yeah.
How many did they make?
How many did they make? Hang on a sec. Oh, look at this. Actually, this dial, it's actually not a bad dial. It's very kitschy. It's a very tacky
Yeah.
dial. I mean, this is really a disaster.
I don't know.
Let's read the notes. Here. They made 300 pieces. 300 pieces
Okay.
for the American market.
Yeah.
Yeah, times are hard in Singapore. I think he had to hawk this watch. And here we go. I'll tell you, I don't know. Would you, Archie? Would you buy this watch?
Look, the thing with these special editions is it depends if New York is the city that sings to you. I love New York. Do I necessarily want a New York edition? It doesn't sing that. It's expensive. I find New York expensive.
You know what I find the problem with this dial is it's the wrong view of New York. It's sort of like, they got the new World Trade Center, which is kind of an ugly building. It's kind of that view of downtown, which is not that impressive. You really want more of like Empire State Building, Chrysler Building. That's really classic. That's the classic thing. That's really what they should have gone with.
Yeah.
But I find that's the thing with Patek. They're trying to do this very like modern. All their stuff, I find it to be a little bit tone deaf. I mean, the fonts. Look at these fonts. These are very boring fonts. They're like actually quite ugly. I mean, the whole watch I think is a disaster. I don't know anybody who.
I wouldn't look.
In New York
Look, I like the 50. This is a 5230. I like it. I think it's. I'm not going to say. Look, just because I had a dispute with that guy, he's a jerk. I'm not going to criticize the watch. The watch and the man are two different things.
Now, what was your issue with him? He seems like a nice guy. I mean, what was your issue with a
Just
club or something?
He's egotistical. But hey, I got to shoot off. I just wanted to come on and say hello to you, and I want to say thanks for coming on my stream there. And we're glad to send you the link. I just got problems with the link at the moment because I'm using a VPN. But look, man, it's good to see you in the crowd there. I just wish you'd just it's okay. It's okay. The world is different. Okay. Okay, man. I'll see you later.
Right.
Love you, man. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. All right, send money now, Archie. Send money. There we go. All right, the Pontiff. All right. So yeah, this watch is really it's a tomato can watch. Look at 30 to 50,000. It's actually pretty. Is that a conservative estimate? Is that a conservative estimate? I don't know. I don't think that watch is going to have any traction. But again, the AP, the dual time. This is a watch. This is definitely a watch to own if you can get it. Around 20 grand or so, 20, maybe 25 grand, as long as crispy, minty condition. And it is kind of a more. Actually, okay, so do you need box and papers for this? This one does have it. So, and the blue doll, some people like this blue doll. They're calling it the Yves Klein blue, which is really not. Circa 2000. So this is probably, I have a feeling this is probably going to sell for like 30, 35 grand all in, 30 grand all in. Everything is always expensive at these auctions. But if you can get it in the 20s, that will be, I believe, a good deal, a real good deal. So, Let's keep rolling with the Royal Oaks. Got a whole set of Royal Oaks here. Again, the one that's probably going to be the standout is the Salmon Dial, which is what a stunning watch, right? Really amazing looking watch. And this is early, by the way. This is early. 1993. Steel with a Salmon Dial. This is an anniversary dial, so these are always going to have a little more. They get a little more interest from the real Royal Oak fans. Let's get into the perpetual calendars, because I think, look, when it comes to the Royal Oak, what you really want is you want a perpetual calendar. That's the watch to get. As long in the right dial. This dial is I wouldn't say it's a bit of a boring dial. The tapisserie dial is kind of the one you want. And look at this. This is interesting condition here. This is an interesting condition. So 50 to 120. So these go for about 100, 120 grand on the secondary market. They only made 430 of these, right? So that is the in yellow gold. In yellow gold, I think they made like 12. Was it? We went through this before. Was it like 1,200 or something like that in total? So these are always going to have traction. You just got to get the right one. I would just get the best in breed, and that's it. So stainless steel. Again, you got this. What do they call this? The Yves Klein blue dial, right? 1998. What is it? 39 millimeter, right? 39 millimeter. You look at this display back. Number 18. Okay. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Let's zoom in. You see the little flaking? Wow, it's horrible. See, I think that's the problem. When you go these darker colors, the flaking becomes more obvious. So that's a good reason. I don't know why they couldn't get it right, but I would avoid these blue dials. The flaking is going to be an issue down the road, and they're going to look cheap. Actually, they look kind of cheap now, I believe. This blue dial is, I don't know, is it painted? What is it? It just looks like crap. I would avoid that. Whatever technology they started using the last couple of years is amazing. Again, you get a ceramic over here. What a stunning watch. Look at the details here. The moon is amazing on the new models. The problem is they're just too big. They're like 41 mil, and they just wear huge. These things wear huge. Again, this is going to be north of 100 grand. Let's take a look. Let's keep rolling over here. Wow. What is this? What is this? I have never seen this before, actually. I have never seen this. So you got it's a skeleton, but you can see the date. Interesting. I've actually never seen this. Never seen this. What did they do? Okay, so this is a 40th anniversary. So they only made 40 pieces like this. 40 pieces. Huh. Really interesting. I mean, it's very busy. But somehow it's like somehow it works. And the rose gold is amazing. The rose gold is amazing. Actually, I kind of like this. I kind of like seeing the date in that way, because you can kind of see, how the time is moving. This is what is sizes? Again, 39 millimeter. Yeah, the big size. Interesting. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. All right, so we're getting into these like crazy AP watches that they did it's the type of stuff that you see with like the Bhagwan Rajneesh Osho. You see those videos? He's wearing this type of stuff. Good value, 15 to 25 grand for this, skeletonized watch with, you got diamonds, you got sapphires, crazy looking watch, and you do have this octagonal shape. Nice rotor in the back. I don't know what's not to love about this watch. If it was under 20 grand, I think this is a steal. These things, I think, are going to come back again, in a limited way. It's not a watch you wear every day. It's more of something you wear as a, it's more of a, it's just an ironic thing. It's not, but it is, it's pretty cool. It is a pretty cool watch. Okay. We're getting into interesting stuff here. You get a tourbillon. Date Power Reserve tourbillon. Date Power Reserve tourbillon. The back is, this is the worst. You get one of these nasty winding things in the back, which is a pain in the ass to use. And it's so ugly. This is like just so ugly. Wow. But as the watch itself, kind of interesting, though. Although again, I don't see these things being able to maintain any real value. I just don't see it. One of the best things I like about this auction is the selection of pocket watches. Frankly, I'm kind of getting interested in these. You got this AP Jade pocket watch, right? What does it come with? It comes comes with a matching chain. Wow. 12 to 18,000. Oh, excuse me, not Jade, Nephrite. Interesting. Really cool. I think we saw one of these. We saw one of these. I think, is it Philips or somebody who's doing one of these? Yeah, I think Philips or somebody's or Sotheby's has the same watch up for auction also. So a lot of value in these pocket watches, I think. You got the chain, you got everything. Yeah, perpetual calendar, platinum. This is a beautiful dial. Look at this. 1893 perpetual calendar. 1893. Stunning. Look at this. And the date is in red. That's a plus. French dial. Wow. Let's see. We got a Breguet. Wow, Breguet, 100 to 200 grand. Look at this. Look at the back. Incredible finishing here. Look at this. Unbelievable. This thing is like 200 years old. What a watch. I mean, this is the thing that I think this is the thing that you want to own. Now let's get into some interesting watches. Again, the good stuff is here. Towards the end of the sale here. Again, you get this chronograph, and look what happened with this. It's a gold watch. Something happened with this oxidation, or something happened. You got like a two different, right? Interesting. Very cool. Very cool. What else? Okay, you get some basic watches. Yeah, you basic bitch Rolex. Okay. Okay, unusual dial. We got an unusual, what is it, rubellite. It's kind of like a pink color. 89. Yeah, this is interesting. Rubellite dial. Rubellite. Okay, what else? What else? What else? Now this, I've never seen this before. So this is platinum with, and what is the dial? Mother of pearl. What a combination. Mother of pearl in the center. And you got this kind of diamonds around the edge. That's a, wow, very creative. Something, I don't know, something with the pearl though. I find pearl dolls a little bit feminine, especially with diamonds. When you have diamonds and pearls, it looks a little too feminine. So, and I don't know any woman who's going to wear a platinum day date. That's just not going to happen. It's just too heavy, too uncomfortable. Let's take a look. Now this is a stunner. What a stunning layout. Look at this. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. 15 to 30,000. Yeah. There's, you know, look, there's a whole fan base for these, you know, for these day dates. And they got, how many day dates? They got 6 day dates. I'll tell you what, this, you know, the green dial, I always love these green dials. This is a green bloodstone. Green bloodstone. Never heard of a green bloodstone. Wow, look at this. Amazing. Full set, right? I mean, this is absolutely stunning. I think this watch is probably going to get a crazy price. Crazy price. I mean, not crazy, but you know, could be 50 grand plus. We got a ghost dial. Wow, yeah, these are beautiful. You get this kind of faded ghost dial. Great color. I would wear this on a suede strap, on a beige suede strap. This is gonna be cheap. You know, 10 grand, 12 grand. Yeah, that's about what they go for. They go for about. Actually, there's something with a ghost dial. They might get a little more. They might get like, yeah, 12, 13, 14, 15,000 US, depending on condition. 1966 Spanish dial. Could be a good buy in that 10,000, 12,000 range. Let's let's get into some interesting Datejusts. Datejusts over here. We got malachite, one of my favorite stones. This one doesn't look. You know, I don't like this one as much, and I think with these dials, the quality of the stone or the type of stone makes a big difference. I kind of like where it's a smoother white lines. This one has got like this messy thing in the middle. It's a little bit messy. It looks kind of dirty. Some sort of oxidation. I don't know. Yeah, something looks a little funky. Something looks funky with this. 15 to 20. So yeah, 30. It could be $20,000, $30,000 watch. Let's keep rolling. Okay, now this is, what is this? I know it's a cloisonné doll. So it's like a one-off. It's somebody's crest, an aristocrat's crest. All right. Wow. Okay. Whose is it though? So the problem with that is it's very personal. It's somebody else's crest. It's not your crest, right? According to the family of its owner, a South American art collector, the watch was purchased during a visit to Geneva in 1952 and descended in the same family until the grandson, that's right, the grandson got the watch, sends it off to Christie's. Should have kept it. Since 2015, it has been a highlight of perhaps the greatest private watch collection in the world. Wow. The greatest private watch collection in the world. Who's that? Who is that? Is it one of the two Italian guys? Is it John Goldberger or what's the other guy? The guy in Florence. One of those guys. We got these clocks. And these are getting very, very, very pricey, these clocks. These clocks are getting pricey. Look at the hands are quite beautiful. These solar clocks. 1990, 60, 100 grand. I mean, this is like, I mean, crazy. Okay, so you get it. I mean, basically you're paying, I guess, for this. No, okay, this is actually beautiful, but is it worth 100 grand for this enamel, this cloisonne? I mean, it looks, it's okay. It's not anything like, I mean, you know, it's this kind of like Art Nouveau type of look. I mean, if this was something made in 1910, it would be great, but this is a modern clock. Why are they doing Art Nouveau today? That's the thing that bothers me. It's something that is should have been done 100 years ago, not today. Moving along, we've got some interesting Pateks here. Interesting Pateks. And black dial. Wow. Stunning. Always looks great with a black dial. All right. 350,000 to 700,000. What does this have? Pink, gold, black. What does this have? Okay. First series. 8 pieces known in pink, gold, with black enamel dials. There's only 8 pieces known, right? But I don't know. Is that a good value just because there's 8 pieces? I mean, it's nothing special. We've seen this design in, sort of your basic, I don't know, champagne dials, white dials, whatever. So for a black dial, that's a huge premium. I don't see that as a good value. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You really want to have something that unique that nobody has? It's just the same watch. It's just different color dial. Okay, we're getting into some heavy hitters here. We got a perpetual calendar chronograph, 1948. This thing is tiny. How big is this? This is 35 millimeter. And it's 35 millimeter, but it probably wears like a 30 millimeter because you got this giant crown here. Yeah, very elegant watch. What is the story? They got a whole long story, of course. Okay. One of only 58 pieces made, and there's only 45 known today. So it's pink. Oh yeah, it is kind of a pink dial. So pink on pink. 2 million to 4 million because there's only 48. I mean, would you rather have a universal Genève like this? Interesting. Maybe I'm a Luddite. I don't get it. Maybe I don't get it. I don't get the some of these nuances. I just, I'm just looking at kind of relative to other stuff. It might be just a little bit out there. I get the premium, but that much of a premium for some of these things is a little bit, it's a bit of a reach. Okay, we got the usual FP Journes. You got your FP Journes. You got FP Journe presentation box. Okay, here we go to the Michael Schumacher. So this was a Michael Schumacher FP Journe. piece unique. Apparently, this is what is 7 victories. It looks cheap. Really, this watch looks so cheap. Really tacky looking. What I mean, really, what a waste. What a waste of you know, maybe he was just, in a rush to get this out. He got paid, whatever. So it's a gift from Jean Todt, CEO of Ferrari, to Michael Schumacher in 2004. And you know what? When did he have that crash? Was it in 2005 or when was it? When was that crash? When did he crash into the tree? It was sometime, I think, after this. Maybe this watch is bad luck. I mean, this dial is definitely a disgrace. It's like silk screened or something. It looks very cheap. We get the usual crash. Okay, who cares about crash? Cartier Reverso. Wow. Interesting. You get a women's JLC. This is 2001. This is actually a beautiful watch. What is this made out of? It's white gold, right? White gold. Sapphires. Wow. Stunning. I mean, they really, they weren't lazy. They were not lazy. They really, look at the way the sapphires go around the case on the bracelet. This is not a lazy design. Somebody had to put thought into it. Beautiful watch. Beautiful, amazing watch. This might be the most beautiful watch in this entire auction. And it probably looks amazing on the wrist with these diamonds. Yeah, this is a stunning watch. Absolute stunner. What a cheap price, 15 to 25,000. Please tell me. Oh fuck! I was gonna say. I was gonna say, please tell me it's not quartz. Sure enough, it's quartz. Yeah, I don't know. I know it's a woman's watch, quartz, but still, it's kind of an insult to women. Make a quartz watch. Okay, the usual. Tank Chinois. You gotta admit, it is a beautiful. The case, the brush gold lacquer. Beautiful design. It's kind of confusing though, because of that dial layout with that stuff. I think it makes it hard to read, but it is definite stunner. How big is this? Yeah, it's pretty small actually. 39 millimeter. What else we got? We got some Breguets here. You get a perpetual calendar. 15 to 25 grand. What a deal. 1990. I don't know if you can get one of these for, let's call it 15 grand. That's a deal. That is a steal. A steal and a deal. Okay. Wow. 30 to 50 for this one. I don't know. What's okay, you got a tourbillon. The tourbillon, is it worth paying for that tourbillon? I mean, the tourbillon doesn't look that good. I don't think the tourbillon looks that good. So I would say it's a pass. I would say it is a pass. Yeah, the JLC is an amazing watch. Would you buy that for your wife or your girlfriend, knowing that it's quartz? Would you buy a quartz shitter? I don't know. We do see some of these quartz pieces getting big money, but yeah, still, it's kind of like, I mean, from JLC, quite frankly, I expect only mechanical watches. Yeah, they're the watchmaker's watchmaker, right? So, what do we got? A tourbillon here. Is this titanium? White gold. White gold. Look, this is, what Patek should be doing in terms of, they want to do modern dress watches, then do this, right? Do this. Don't try to be in between. If you want to do something modern, and I think Patek should do something modern, right? They really, all they have is they got the Nautilus and the Aquanaut. Those are their modern watches. So they're sport watches, and they need a new platform, basically, right? They need a new platform. Like the Code 11, the 1159 is the platform for AP to do modern dress watches. And that's what Patek should be doing, like this. Okay, I mean, again, a little bit basic, but still, at least you got a modern case, which, they made an effort. The design is great. The thing with the lugs, the sides. I mean, it's a modern watch. It's a modern dress watch. Light and easy to use. I mean, yeah, but I think that's I think that's the way it was historically. I think what's happening in the last couple of years, women now, they're understand the value of mechanical watches. Look at there's who's that? Ellen DeGeneres. She's a big watch collector. I mean, she doesn't have any quartz. She's got major vintage Rolex. She's got some real heavy hitters. Men's watches, right? Yeah, I mean, she is a lesbian. She's probably I wonder what her position is in that marriage there with was it Porsche or something? But Ellen DeGeneres has really great taste. I mean, really, in terms of you see her houses, which she does. That's where she makes her real money, flipping houses in like Santa Barbara and L.A. She does like a redesign or something, and yeah, she's got amazing taste. She's not wearing quartz, and look, I think women are appreciate the value of a mechanical piece, and also they understand that it has more value, right? So I think those days are past. The days of quartz are past for women. I mean, you're seeing women wearing Rolex now, right? They're buying Daytonas. They love Daytonas. Two-tone Daytonas. Here we go. 1159, code 1159. Flying tourbillon. Flying chronograph. You got a lot of flying going on here. A lot of flying going on. It's a 50-piece edition. I don't know. I think this might be an ambitious. This might be an ambitious estimate. 100 to 200,000. I think these code 1159s are going to drop in price, and at some point, people are going to discover them as a value. But I think they got a long way down. They got a long way down. Okay. We got the. This is going to be great. Yeah, 1970s 3700 jumbo Patek classic. This is a watch you want to own if you can get this in like 100 grand range. Wait, what is this one here? This is this one is it's 300. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep going. I don't know. What do you guys think of these Roman numerals? I think these are horrible on a Patek. These Roman numerals, so messy. Really messy. One of the most beautiful perpetual calendars ever. The 5740, 100 to 200,000. Again, the secondary market, these are around 200 now, and I think they're going to drop. I think they might drop to like maybe below retail, maybe like 150 grand. White gold for 150 grand. This could be a really good value. These perpetual calendars. Yeah, I mean the blue is amazing. The blue really is amazing. This watch, and of course, forget about the color. It's a perpetual calendar, 40 millimeter. It's really a perfect size. I actually had one of these on my wrist. It felt amazing. It felt amazing. She owns chickens? No, it's a joke. Tons of chickens? I never heard of that. A third of RM sales are women. They do make a women's watch, right? You talking about, those like candy colored watches? I don't know. Do women buy them? I can't imagine women buying them. I think it's like maybe, I think it's maybe men buying it for, as a gift because they have an RM and they say, oh, okay, hey, I want to get you one too. I just don't understand. I don't see women finding the RM as an attractive watch. Like even talking about the women's ones, the smaller, the candy colored ones. They're just they're very plain looking. They look cheap. They look really cheap. I just can't imagine that. I don't think any woman buys them. I think it's definitely a gift from guys, and believe me, those watches are going to be less than worthless because the women are going to dump those watches. Okay, that's it. That's it for the auction. The last lot is this perpetual calendar. So that is. Let me just do a close up here, and before we sign out, look, that's all you got to know. You got this incredible. You got the white gold. You got this blue. The perpetual calendar, and you notice the fonts. The fonts actually look really good. The fonts are modern looking. It's this kind of it's a more of a modern font, and I never even noticed the font. I never really looked at it up close until now. So I'm glad I'm doing this video. Yeah, this is actually pretty stunning. Again, the design though, the design of the case I find so dated. The Nautilus I'm finding to be a dated design. But certainly this is this is a watch to own. Maybe hey, who knows? Maybe price is going to drop to 100 grand. Prices could drop to 100 grand. Maybe I'll trade in some of my watches and move into this. Although I don't see these gaining in value. I think that the Nautilus is kind of. I think the Nautilus is dead money. Aquanaut, Nautilus. The only direction I'm going to be going in is down. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What do you think? I'll leave your nasty, vicious comments below. All right, guys. That is it